What's up? It's Hold My Banner. Welcome in. Hold My Banner, the one-stop shop. Everything you need Celtics here at Nesson. More importantly, anything you need NBA. We got a stacked show for you guys today. We go through our offseason previews. Today is the Denver Nuggets. Can they get back to winning the chip? Can Jokic get a fourth MVP? Ante Campbell and I break it all down. And you know what today is? A special day for anyone who loves video games and hoops. 2K25 is dropping. Ante and I build our perfect My Player together. And we'll go through. NFL season's around the corner. Kicks off just a day away. So using NFL players, we'll build our starting five with a man off the bench as well, sixth man, using NFL players strictly. And then we'll go with some rankings as well because Ante always brings the heat with the content. Let's bring him in, the walking, talking, triple-double. By way of LA, out of Fresno, but graduated from UTEP, Ante Campbell. Tay, how we doing today, my man?
I'm doing good. And I have one thing on my mind because the WNBA season is wrapping up. George, I want to know, does Caitlin Clark have Rookie of the Year wrapped up now at this point?
Yes. Ninth best scorer in the WNBA, first in assists. And right now, as it stands, as of the recording of this podcast, they have a 17-16 record. They, as a team, have not been better at the conclusion of a season since 2015, have not been better than 500. She could, if they wanted to right now, and the season ended, and it's right around the corner, they would be in. The Indiana Fever, the curve she had of coming into the league, being targeted every night, and getting the game's best. And Indiana, again, is one of the worst franchises in the WNBA. Her scoring, her assist, her overall play as a player. And I'm not giving her the award because she's Caitlin Clark. I'm giving her the award because she is the best rookie in the WNBA this season.
Yeah, and I think the personal battles matter, right? We saw that this year in the NBA when we had Wemby versus Chet. And when Wemby went into OKC, and I don't believe they won that game, but just dominated the Thunder and Chet and, just showed that he was the all-around better player at the time. That really solidified the Rookie of the Year for him. I think this game that we had on Friday between the Sky and the Fever did the exact same thing for Caitlin. She had 31 points, 12 assists to Angel Reese's 10 points, 11 rebounds. So, and she won by 19. You know what I mean? The Fever won by 19. So
they beat them 3 out of 4 times this season.
Exactly. So they're 3-1 against them in that matchup. Caitlin has been dominating the matchup, dropping 20, 30 points every single time, getting assists. She's looked better and better and better every single game that they've played. And honestly, Angels look worse and worse and worse. So I'm going to say that it's locked up for sure.
And they both had that Olympic break for them in the middle of the season. Neither went with Team USA to the Olympics. Maybe that was a perfect break that Caitlin Clark needed. Get her body reset, work out, just get in shape and get rested in a way for the second half of the season while we've seen Angels play break off. I hate some of the talk that's been around. Like, we've seen people go out and tweet, they both exceeded expectations, so they should both get the award. I don't care. If you exceed expectations and that's what get you awards, then Jaylen Brown should have won NBA MVP.
Yep.
Then other people, other players in the WNBA should be winning MVPs over A'ja Wilson. No, A'ja Wilson's the best player in the league. As we've seen it, she'll win MVP. Caitlin Clark is the best rookie in the WNBA. She should get Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese has been good. Caitlin Clark has been great. And again, that Indiana team, as a rookie, for her to carry them the way she is, and Kelsey Mitchell stepped out tremendously for the Fever as well. But the way Caitlin's doing it with all-around game, you just said it, 31 and 12 against a good Chicago Sky team. That's absurd, but she's been doing it all year long. I don't want to hear they should both get the no. Enough of that, bro. This is the WNBA. They're competitors. They want to compete. They want to earn and get what they deserve. You're not giving out half a trophy. Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year. And I bet Angel Reese, she'll hate it, but she'd rather see that than here's a pity trophy you guys split.
Right. I remember in the NBA in 2017, Malcolm Brogdon got a Rookie of the Year because the rest of the league sucked, right? And that's just how it goes. You know what I mean? The rest of the rookies weren't ready to play. Malcolm Brogdon was a good contributor on a good team. He got a Rookie of the Year. The next year, right, you had Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell because Ben obviously missed the first year of his career with injuries and stuff like that. So he was a rookie, same as Chet this from this past season, according to the NBA that year in 2018. And Donovan Mitchell had to face up against him, right? And Donovan Mitchell was a great rookie, and so was Ben Simmons. Both would have beat out Malcolm Brogdon if they were competing against Malcolm Brogdon, but they weren't. So there are no participation trophies. Ben Simmons walks home with the Rookie of the Year. Donovan Mitchell misses out on that opportunity, and that's just the way it goes. Angel's a great player. She's one of the best rookies that the WNBA has seen in a couple of years, but she's not better than Caitlin right now, and that's just a matter of the fact.
I think people just have to remember how bad the Fever were, and like that's where part of the state you come into the franchise. Last season, 2023, 13-27. The 3 years prior, 5, 6, 6 wins, 13 wins, 6 wins, 9 wins. The Fever were terrible. Caitlin Clark elevated that entire franchise. And it's not just she's elevating the team and winning with them. She's putting up historic numbers all on her own as well. 9th best scorer in the WNBA. Leader in assists, and her range, what she does shooting wise, completely changes the whole dynamic of how you have to defend her. Her impact on the floor is felt all throughout, and that's what Caitlin Clark does. That is so special. Rookie of the Year, no doubt about it, Tay.
100%. All right, now let's talk about the preview. Obviously, we know we've been doing these. We got the Denver Nuggets on this one. I want to ask you, George, how are you feeling about the Denver Nuggets in their offseason this year?
I just think this is the Nuggets pulled through and executed before the Cronkies, their owners, expected them to. Mm-hmm. Because now we're seeing with Stan Kroenke, who's a billionaire, owns multiple sports teams, but is one of the cheapest owners, you're seeing his mitts now get back on this franchise.
Yep.
Because they won with the guys they had, a Bruce Brown that played his way out of re-signing with the Nuggets, with how good KCP was, with how good Aaron Gordon was, of course Jamal Murray and Jokic as well. Bruce Brown leaves, fine. KCP, Reggie Jackson, gone this offseason. KCP is a great shooter and a great perimeter defender. Those two things are essential for success in the playoffs. Now, I know they bring in a Russell Westbrook, not exactly the same player on both ends as KCP, but we'll see how he embraces his role, which I believe in him, and I think he's a great defender, and he still can be. So let's see how he steps up there. We'll see what type of shooter he gets. But Christian Braun has to take on such a big role for the Nuggets. Jokic is the best player in the NBA. But you need so much around you, especially the teams they have to beat to win a title. Because that's their expectation. Whenever you take the floor with Nikola Jokic, your expectation is winning an NBA title. Well, they came up short last season. And after winning it the year before, I don't like how their offseason went. And it's just looking at, they're going to rely a lot on Jokic, but I think there needs to be more from ownership and investing in this team. But unfortunately, and it sounds so simple, Tay, and I hate to make it this simple.
Yeah.
Because it's Stan Kroenke running the credit card and the checkbook for that franchise, it's not going to happen. I don't like their offseason at all. Russell Westbrook's a good addition, but losing KCP is such a big loss.
Yeah, it is a big loss, and I think they're banking on their guys who are younger, Christian Braun, Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther. Those are their recent draft picks. Mm-hmm. One of those 3 guys to work out, you know what I mean? And to work out and be, MPJ level contributor for them. And I just don't think those 3 guys are ready for that right now. You know what I mean? They'll have to show me. We saw a lot of Peyton Watson. We've seen a lot of Christian Braun. We haven't really seen a lot of Julian Strawther throughout his process with the Denver Nuggets. So that makes me a little nervous. I don't really know what they're going to do at the 2 spot. I don't really know about their bench. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Their starters are going to have to play a lot of minutes in order to win games. And that could be dangerous, seeing that Jokic has played a lot of basketball over the last couple of years. Obviously, we know the Olympic run that he just made. They had a, deep-ish playoff run this past season, 2 rounds. But the year before that, obviously going pretty far in the playoffs, winning it. So, it's kind of nerve-wracking that this team is just saying, hey, let's just see if these young guys work out, when none of them were really that highly touted coming out of the drafts that they are in. And this team needs offense, honestly. They need guys who are going to put the ball on the floor and make plays off of Jokic. He can't be the only one that's going to do it, right? High pick and roll with Jamal Murray. I'm not high on him after watching how he played in the Olympics with Canada. He's making me nervous for what we're going to see out of him when it's not the Lakers. If they play the Lakers,
fine, you bet on Jamal Murray every time.
Murray's the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? But when they're playing the other 28 teams in the league, he makes me nervous. So I'm a little nervous about this team. I know people are lower on them. I'm honestly, the way I see it, teams that have gotten better in the West make me feel better about them, whether it be the Kings, whether it be the Pelicans. I'm super high on those teams. I'm worried that this team might be a 7 seed and might be in a play-in situation in the West.
And if you're limping into that spot, and you mentioned with Jamal Murray and his health history, you don't know what Jamal Murray you're going to get in the playoffs, and that's so much to rely on him. And then they even lose a Reggie Jackson, who's a backup point guard for Jamal Murray. So you lose Reggie Jackson and KCP. You bring in Russell Westbrook. He's probably going to fill that Reggie Jackson role. You could bring some of what KCB brings to the offense and defensive end. But again, those are two pieces. You're replacing them with one, that one being a vet and an older player as well. I show you how they constructed it. And again, like you said, they're going to rely on these guys. They're relying on these guys because they're going to be cheap. But then you're just wasting away one of the all-time talents to ever come through the NBA. And right now, you have the best player in the league. But as we saw of how the Celtics ran through the playoffs and even ran through the finals, no problem dismantling whoever was in front of them and whoever it would have been running through them. You see how good you have to be with the Timberwolves upgrading their roster, with the Mavericks upgrading the roster, and we'll see what type of Luka Doncic we get. We'll also see what a finals run does for someone like Derek Lively. But even think about a team like the Spurs with Wemby can make a jump, and that could be a play-in team. Exactly. And that's someone that the Nuggets could potentially face. I hate it every which way what the Nuggets have done with this offseason. Yeah. And I mainly hate it because they're wasting away Jokic. I just think that sucks. We're sports fans at heart. That's why we got into this, Tay. Yep. But we also just love talking ball and hoops ad nauseum and love giving our opinions because we're always right. You're always right. I'm always right. We could be opposite. We're both right? Yeah. But end of the day, got into this because I'm a fan. And when you see a player special as Jokic, you want them in the playoffs. And you want to see them have the best shot possible to give the T-Wolves a run, to give the Mavericks a run, to give the Warriors, we'll see what we get from them, a run. Same thing with the Lakers. Kroenke ownership just coming up short.
Obviously NBA teams and NBA players, obviously MVP is always a huge topic of choice. Jokic is a guy that has won 3 MVPs in the last 4 years. Is he going to win a 4th? I know that desperation kind of brings that out of guys. He's super competitive. We saw how he brought together a roster of Serbia that wasn't very good and brought them to a bronze medal in the Olympics. Do you think he can do the same? Obviously not winning a championship with the Nuggets, but just kind of bringing them into a place of relevancy, and he wins his 4th MVP?
I think, and we've talked about it our last time on Banner, I think how much better the Thunder are. If you wanted me to ask of who I like to win MVP, I would give it SGA, the best player on the best team that could be this season, and especially have to run through the West. But then I just even think of the dynamic of, and I want to see it from Luka. He was clowned for being out of shape. He was clowned for not being right in the finals. Does it fuel him the right way? And if it's a better Luka, that would put Jokic back. Because again, I think the Mavericks roster is better. And then there's a wild card of Ant-Man. Going to get better as well. He lost his legs towards the end of the playoffs. Now he knows what it takes to make a deep run like that. Yeah. But a guy, an ultra competitor like him, and a guy that's desperate too, that wants to prove and thinks he is, and he should. It's NBA players. They all do. Thinks he's the best. Those are 3 guys that I know will bring it. Well, really, SGA and Ant I rely on. They'll bring it for 82 games. Yeah. And they have the better rosters all around because of how much better those teams and what I expect those superstars to do. I don't think Jokic gets a 4th MVP. He is still. It's Jokic, it's Doncic, it's Giannis. Those are the 3 best players in the NBA. Yeah. But you could be the best player, but you won't win MVP. I don't think he gets MVP because of the SGA Anthony Edwards dynamic out there.
Yeah, I think if there's going to be a case of voter fatigue. I think Jokic has continuously showed us that he's the best player in the NBA.
He controls everything, the whole game. He controls it.
He's a system. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know James Harden said that, but for real though, Jokic is a system. You put him around with a bunch of JV dudes, he could probably win 20 NBA games. You know what I mean? That's how good he is. I think there's going to be this stigma, about him being a 4-time MVP. So when you look at the guys in the NBA who have been 4-time MVPs, there's been 5 guys: LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell. And I don't think NBA fans, NBA voters, NBA reporters are looking at Jokic as that caliber of player. You know what I mean? Yeah. They know that he's very good, but I think they don't, just like how Embiid got his MVP or whatever because everyone was like, Jokic really shouldn't win back-to-back. That's kind of why it happened the way it happened. You know what I mean? I think people are going to be reluctant to give him a 4th MVP because they're not going to say he belongs in that list.
but he's a guy that controls the entire game. Like when he's on the floor, and like as James Harden said it, like he could take a JV squad. He took a Serbian squad.
Yep.
Like that was delusional, especially against Team USA before they got tight and lost their shooting.
Yep.
But he took Team USA down to the wire, like 7 minutes left in that game, and then he takes him to the bronze medal game. But just what he does he is the best player on the floor. And let's say this Nuggets team, and again, this goes into what are people expecting from them? Are expecting a 1 or 2 seed? For someone like you and I, we're like, hey, it could be playing, right? We could see that happen.
Yeah.
If they get a top 4 seed in the West and Jokic is putting up the numbers he is and winning games that he shouldn't be and his team has no business doing, then he could get that 4th MVP. And I get that list. You just go. That was 5 goats.
Right.
Jokic is a goat.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the athleticism. His game isn't pretty, but it doesn't matter. Does he play winning basketball and is he the best at what he does? I think he should not get penalized because he's not as athletic. He doesn't do he doesn't run, he doesn't jump, but he controls the entire game. Yeah. And we've seen him do it for so many years now. And I agree with you on that one. Like, he can't win back. He should have won 4 straight. I don't care.
Right.
He got back to back eventually, but you're right though. There is that voter fatigue. Yeah. And if he doesn't get his 4th right now, I think he eventually does. So I'm not going to die over that. But it is like voter fatigue sucks. And the way you heard me say it too, when I listed out why he wouldn't get it, I didn't say, he's gotten it back. I can't see a 3-peat. I said, well, SGA or Anthony Edwards can steal it from him. And that's how I feel it should be. But if they don't, he should get it.
I'm against him ever getting a 4th if he doesn't get one this year. I think that like the other guys, the young guys are coming. We know Wemby is definitely coming 2-3 years down the line. But like, you look at the short future, you got Luka who hasn't got one yet, who's hungry for one. SGA who you brought up, Tatum, you know what I mean? And then obviously a couple of years down the line too, Anthony Edwards, who knows, maybe even this year, will have his shot at getting MVP. So I think if he doesn't get one now, as he's starting to age,
I think that's it.
That's it. You know what I mean?
And you got to think of the dynamic of an angry Giannis out there.
Yes.
Like he could come back and steal one anytime too. Like the dynamic of these guys. And shoot, bro, you know how I feel about the Knicks and how talented that roster is. Yeah. Again, it's the same thing. And that's when it comes into voter fatigue and there's narratives. It's the Knicks. It's Jalen Brunson, undersized guard, being the best player, winning these games. And he is great in the clutch time. Like, you need him to get a bucket, he'll find a way to get it. Again, that's another guy that can steal it from Jokic. Yeah. I agree. He is getting up there. And I question, and it's part of why I love him, that he doesn't care. Like, he could retire right now and he'd be completely fine going back to Serbia. Exactly. Being with his horses, being with his brothers and not giving a damn. And but you could have, been the 6th guy to get 4 MVPs. Be like, I don't care. I'm back in Serbia. I got my Stoli, I got my horses, I'm good. And that could be it from him.
Wait, dude, the brothers.
So this was when Tay, Trav, and I were talking about how it's going to go if Jokic met the Celtics in the finals. Like, man, he would get in a huddle with them. He'd look at him. He'd go, brothers, look at me. I don't care. We not go back to Boston. We win title now. We get it again. And then we go to Serbia and celebrate with my horses. Look, I'm Lebanese Armenian. I could drop those accents too. So not to clown the Serbians. Love them. Love anyone that's from the Mediterranean, from the Baltic Sea, anything like that.
Facts.
But I got that in my bag. I got my Jokic, Doncic.
Lot of respect.
That's the thing too. I do an Armenian or Lebanese accent. It sounds the same. Like, trust me. Everyone's like, why are you doing like a Russian? I don't know, bro. It all blends the same.
Quick, because I know we have a lot of other topics to get to. I don't have any bets for this team that I like futures wise. Do you have any?
No, I think it's just a team to stay away from. And I think you're going to get a lot of bad numbers because it is Jokic, because it is the Nuggets. So it's going to be a popular pick. It's a name everyone knows. And when you get that familiarity, that's what's going to happen. I think it's the same thing with like Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves. If you look at their win-loss total, if you look at those odds. But then a sleeper is like an SGA who you see him in a lot of commercials, but he doesn't dominate the media landscape like an Anthony Edwards does. So I like to put my money in certain spots betting NBA. I just stay away from the T-Wolves. And also, I don't like this roster. I love Jokic. I said it. This is my 5th time maybe saying it in this episode alone in just under 19 minutes. He's the best player in the NBA. But because of how that skews the numbers, I just wouldn't bet him, Tay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Now, all right, like you said, 2K is dropping today as this episode is releasing, of course. If you buy it, you get the early access, man. We're ready for it. And now we got to create our perfect my player, all right? This is the game mode that I love playing, George, so I had to bring it to you. I got my friends texting me, hey, bro, what build are you making? Bro, don't worry about it, all right? Just know, get ready. I'm averaging 25 and 10 in the rec. It's coming, all right? So, look, George, we're going to make a current NBA player, a current my player out of current NBA players, and their current abilities. We'll alternate picks, and we can't reuse any players.
Oh, can't reuse. I like that.
So
okay.
we're starting out with the category layup. Who do you want to pick for that category?
Are you giving layup to me? Or
I'll give you layup.
Kyrie Irving. Those handles, that finishing style around the bucket, bro. Like, his shot has gone away, but he is still one of the best finishers in the NBA. One of the best finishers we've ever seen. How deep that bag is. It's tough giving him layup because then who do we go handles-wise? But nonetheless, I'm going Kyrie with his layups, my man.
Kyrie layup. I like that one. I had a couple other guys that I was thinking out for that one, and I'm glad you took Kyrie because I don't think I really have him much of any other places. I have him one other place on
Divide
my list.
and conquer, my man.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with a guy that's super athletic. We're in the dunk category now, of course, and I gotta go with a guy who's just a huge jumper and a huge leaper. I'm gonna save a guy that I might use later, so I'm gonna take Ja Morant with this one. I think he's one of the most explosive dunkers in the league at his size. If you put it in the frame, which we're gonna end up having a bigger frame guy than Ja Morant, it could get scary. So I'm gonna take Ja with the dunk.
I like this. Hey, let's when we get to that build, like we're saying, I'm picking one, you're picking one.
Yep.
We're gonna start collabing on this one.
Okay.
I know how we are.
Yep.
Post moves.
Yeah.
Dying art of the game, right?
Yep.
But someone you do it right. I think this one's gonna be unpopular, but I'm gonna use it because I don't have him anywhere else. To be honest, I think with his back to the basket. This is going to sound nuts. I think with his back to the basket, I love Tatum's game.
Okay.
It's an underrated part of his game, and it's a game he's improved on a lot. So now I'm going with his back to the basket. I know he doesn't have that deeper post bag like he does.
Yeah.
But I want to save certain dudes for later. Yeah, I'm going to go Tatum.
I like that. Tatum's actually one of the guys in the league who's like top 5, top 10 range in like post scoring. And,
Right?
When you give him a post touch. So I don't hate that at all.
Who were you thinking post?
I was thinking the bigs. Obviously, the two best bigs in the league, Embiid, Jokic. They really get it done with their back to the basket. So I like Tatum. I like Tatum there. All right, mid range. So this is where I kind of wanted to save a guy that I was thinking about for dunk, and he's definitely in the conversation. And SGA, obviously, we know he gets it done, and you can go with the older guys with DeMar and Kawhi. These are the 4 guys that I'm thinking of. I think I'm going to land on SGA because he is very deadly in that mid-range. He doesn't want to shoot the 3 as much, and I know all 4 of these guys don't want to really get to the 3, but he's probably like the worst 3-point shooter besides DeMar out of this group. And but the most efficient when he gets to that free throw line, and he has a lot of different ways that he can get to it. His bag is deep around the mid range, so I'm gonna stick with SGA on this one.
I was thinking DeMar to save guys like KD or Devin Booker though.
Yeah.
So, but I like the SGA call. 3-point is up next.
Yep.
Brian, I'm not going to try and get too smart here. I'm not getting cute. Give me Steph.
Just
give me Steph.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Let's go. Let's save it. Let's keep it going. All right. Passing. There's a lot of guys I have with passing. I think I'm gonna rock with because we're probably not gonna use this guy in another way. I gotta rock with Jokic here, right?
You don't want to use his athleticism?
No, I'm good on that. I gotta rock with Jokic, like we talked about. He's a system. He's a great passer. He sees everybody on the court. He knows how the defense is gonna react. His IQ when threading passes in. He throws far passes, short passes, all kinds of passes. Not looking at dudes. I gotta take Jokic.
That's tough to take away his IQ, but I think his passing just far. I mean, it's the best in the league. That's where it's like, all right, we're building a great player, dream guy like that.
Yep.
I like going that route. So I like that play. It's tough. I was thinking maybe his strength possibly, and he was a guy who was looking like post moves, Jokic, but I just want to go Tatum. All right, next we got handles.
Yep.
All right, I want to look. We got interior defense, perimeter, speed, vertical strength, build. Handles, I'm going to go Luka. Yeah.
Can we talk about this? Like, I like Luka's handles, but like, what do you feel about like a Trae Young who like throws the ball through dudes' legs? You know what I mean? Has that thing on a string.
I know.
What about even like a DG, Darius Garland? You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking Trey.
Yeah.
And I guess I got to separate the art from the artist and I'm only going with his handles.
Yeah.
And not his overall game.
Yeah.
But I just think Luka, like, I get that. You're going for the finesse handles and that flash.
Yeah,
I'm just going Luka solid with the basketball. And again, I'm picturing his entire game here of the passes he makes, how he could pick it up off the dribble, pull up, shoot, no problem, from any range.
Yeah.
So that's where the handles fall in, and I feel like that goes perfect with the shooter we got in Steph.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I see where you're going with the Garland.
Give you that.
I'm going with like. I mean, look at Kyrie, Ja, Tatum, SGA, Steph, Jokic, Luka. We're going with superstars.
Yeah.
You throwing a Garland there? I'm like, oof.
Well, his handle is crazy, though.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? This is just about, the handle. All right. And then we're not going superstars with, a couple of the other ones when we're going to go freaking interior defense and perimeter defense. At least for interior defense, I'm going to go superstar because I hate Rudy Gobert. No, I'm just joking. I don't hate Rudy Gobert. I think he's a good player, and he's definitely one that I considered. But I think I just rather have Anthony Davis because I feel like his interior defense extends out more to the free throw line. Like he can really kind of, guide guys to the rim and then, send their shot off the rim and be such a force down there, and his rebounding when he's locked in is one of the best in the league. So I'm going to go Anthony Davis.
And he's a guy you don't mind if he gets pulled out to the perimeter. Now, I know we have perimeter defense in this too.
Right.
But, let's be real. AD is one of the best defenders.
Yep.
And something happened when he got to L.A. where all of a sudden he's matching up with his health as well.
Yep.
I love that. I had AD for interior defense and rebounding.
Yep.
I even had Wemby there too. But that's Wemby at 7'4".
Yeah.
So we'll see on who the build is.
I don't love his rebounding. That's why I stayed away from Wemby because he's not like a physical rebounder, you know what I mean? But the interior defense, no question, he's the best in the league.
He's the best. All right, perimeter defense next. You know who I'm going to go with, bro. This is my guy. Future Hall of Famer, in my opinion, Drew Holiday.
Drew.
For the perimeter defense.
Yeah, I like Drew. I like that a lot. Younger Drew was much more of a physical perimeter defender. Now he's more of a finesse, smart kind of defender on the perimeter. I was going to go with Herb Jones, obviously the first team all defense guy, the only guard that was out there. I
was even thinking Lou Dort maybe too.
Yeah, Lou Dort, Jaden McDaniels too. I like him as well. But yeah, I was thinking Herb just because the physicality that he has on the defensive end, the long arms. But obviously we're gonna have somebody else's frame. But yeah, I like Drew.
That's why I take Holiday's experience, his IQ, and he is strong. Now we're gonna have strength from someone else. Yeah. But again, I'm putting that into a different build. Honestly, with this perimeter defense too, if we went Tatum or Brown, if we went any of the
100%. Derek White too.
I was going to say D White.
Yeah, there's a lot of great guys that we could have listed. Caruso as well could have been another guy that we talked about. But yeah, Drew's who we're going to rock with. I'm cool with that.
This is one of my favorite ones,
Speed's
bro.
easy. Fox. I gotta go Fox. De'Aaron Fox, man.
Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah, Maxey's fast. Yeah, but I'm still going Fox.
Huh?
You don't want to see Fox in the open court.
I know. You don't want to
scary.
They're both so electric when they get out and running.
Yes, they both are. All right,
let me put in De'Aaron Fox on that one. We're both taking our notes, building our player. Vertical, you took Ja Morant from the dunk.
Yep.
I'm trying to think vertical right now.
Do you need help? Because I have a couple.
I got two guys in mind.
Okay.
Well, I have two out of the three.
Yeah.
I'll say mine. I want to hear yours. I had Levine and Jaylen Brown for vertical.
Yeah, I like JB. Levine's a little bit older. He doesn't have it as
it's losing
much.
It a little.
You know what I mean? Two guys that I had who aren't superstars at all, then this is just me being a basketball head. Derrick Jones Jr.
Yeah,
he's an elite leaper. And then Shadon Sharp.
Who the hell is Shadon Sharp?
Jumps off the rim, man. He puts his head on the roof.
Where does he play? Greece?
For the Portland Trailblazers, man.
Oh, that's why I don't know who he is.
Yeah, Shadon Sharp from Kentucky.
Let's go Derrick Jones Jr.
Okay, DJJ.
I like DJJ on that one. He didn't cross my mind because I think Levine, JB with his athleticism is how I was leaning him, but I knew Levine back nine. I don't want that. I like DJJ.
Okay, and then strength, I got Zion.
Zion.
Yeah, man child.
You should have put Anchor on this. Like who's got that base?
Yeah.
The build. Well, that's build.
Yeah.
Strength, you're going Zion.
Zion, man.
I had Dort or Steven Adams. I like Zion.
They call him a human wrecking ball. I had to go with that one.
But it's how he uses his mass. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
It's how he uses all those whatever you eat down in New Orleans. I forget what it's called.
Beignets.
Beignets. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Built. This is the tough one. This is
Yep.
where I wanted to save Wemby.
Yep.
But we're going overall build, so I'm not just going frame.
Yep.
And how they filled out their frame, I'm going to go Giannis.
Yeah.
7 foot long as hell. Like, bro, that's going to just imagine if Giannis, with that size and strength, pulled up on you with Steph shooting, but also the finishing around the rim of Kyrie and the handles of Luka. Like, that's a nightmare.
And
You can't do anything. That's just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. And then IQ last, real quick. Obviously, we got to go with the oldest player in the NBA
And the smartest.
and the smartest, LeBron James. Yeah.
Let's throw in one clutch, and competitive.
Clutch. Okay, so we can't use Curry. Clutch. That's tough.
Those could be two separate.
I like DeMar. I thought DeMar was a guy that should have been looked at as like clutch player of the year last year. Curry kind of ran away with it, but man, he has a lot of game winners in his bag.
I know.
And he gets to it.
He knows to get to his spot and hit the shot. I go Jalen Brunson.
Brunson?
Like Brunson just has the knack, and you could even go competitive level with Brunson. Just on both. He knows, like, you need a bucket, and you need it multiple times throughout the end of a game. If it's a three, if it's around the rim, he gets it done.
Yeah.
So who do you want to go with for clutch, DeMar or Jalen Brunson?
I'll take yours. I'll take Jalen.
Go Jalen
I'll
Brunson?
take Jalen Brunson. I like DeMar, though, but I like Brunson as well. I mean, I don't feel like you can't lose with either. They're both,
right.
They want it. They love the moment. You're winning. And then what's the other one you wanted to do?
Let's go, competitive / confidence. And I know one guy we haven't used. We got to use him here.
Okay, who is it?
Anthony Edwards. That confidence.
Yeah,
how competitive he is?
We did end up leaving Anthony Edwards off. Yeah, he's got to be.
Bro, we did it perfect.
He's got to be competitive.
I swear I did not have that answer in my mind when I said let's add it.
Yeah.
What did he say in D-Book's video? He's like, you ain't going to catch no fish looking at my pole, Jack. I'm like, bro, he literally is MJ. That is some stuff you'd hear from a 90s basketball player.
Yeah.
And he's like 24. What is he, 24?
Yeah.
Not even, I don't think.
Yeah. All right, can you run through our list really quickly for the people at home?
So with the layup package, we got Kyrie.
Yep.
Dunk package, we got John Morant.
Yep.
Post moves, Jason Tatum. Mid-range game of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yep.
3-point shot of Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. The passing of Jokic, who's the best magician I've ever seen on the floor. The handles of Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
Interior defense and rounding of Anthony Davis. Interior defense and rebounding. The perimeter defense of Drew Holiday, one of the GOATs.
Yep.
The speed of De'Aaron Fox. Vertical of Derrick Jones Jr. The strength of Zion Williamson. All in the build, the frame and how he's filled it out of Giannis Antetokounmpo, the IQ of LeBron James, the clutch factor of Jalen Brunson, and all together with the confidence of Anthony Edwards.
Man.
This guy would be unreal.
Yeah, this is the perfect NBA 2K player.
And that's the beauty of 2K. Build it just like that and fill him in with all these attributes.
Facts. All right, you guys have fun playing the game. We're going to keep our games rolling. We're going to draft a NBA team of NFL players. So the NFL starts tomorrow night if you're watching this episode on Wednesday. Obviously, the Ravens will face off against the Chiefs.
Yep.
I'm excited for that
Can't
matchup.
wait.
And because I'm so excited, George and I are going to draft an NBA team of NFL players. George, I'll give you the first pick because I forgot the dice, and we got to keep it going. So who do you want on your team?
This is tough because then you realize how small NFL players are.
Yes.
You're like, all right, who's the most athletic tight end? He's like, he's 6'6"? Where am I going to get my size?
Yep.
I'm just going to go with sick athlete, massive range. I'm going to go Justin Jefferson.
Jettas.
I don't know if he has any basketball background. Like, I was going with guys of that, but I want to have some fun with it.
Yep.
So I'm going Justin Jefferson, my first pick.
Do you have a position that you want to put him in?
6'1", 205. So I think he's a 2.
Okay.
He's a receiver, you know.
JJ.
He doesn't got the IQ of a quarterback. He's a receiver. I'll put him at the 2 spot.
Jettas, yeah, I didn't have him on my list. I'm going to take a guy that no one's going to know who this is for our Hold My Banner fans, unless you're a huge NFL fan. I'm taking tight end for the Colts, Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah.
He played at VCU for 4 years, averaging 8 points a game, 4 rebounds. I need an actual guy who got it done at some type of level over high school. So I'm going to take him and put him at the position he played in college at the 4.
Mo Alley Cox wasn't even on my list. I love that pick.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go with the guy that To me, he has the best release off the line of scrimmage in the NFL. I'm going to another receiver here, but I'm going backcourt. It's a guard-driven league, right?
Yep.
Devontae Adams. How he got so good with his route running and how he's so good at getting open. And he said it. It's like, I just cross dudes up. And he played basketball in high school. Could have got a basketball scholarship. Decided to go play football at Fresno instead. Because he couldn't hoop at Fresno because boys like my guy Ante were there. So he's like, I don't got a chance on that team. But I'm going Devontae Adams. He's got that basketball background. He still plays like one. I want to go Tay Adams.
Yeah, I got to go with a guy that's going to make this team a lot of fun. Another receiver like you've been taking off the board. I got to go get a guy who played spot minutes as a freshman at Michigan State. Give me Keon Coleman. He's going to make the team hilarious. You know, we all need to have a good laugh because there's going to be a lot of bad basketball being played out there. So give me Keon Coleman, and I'll put him at the 2.
I like that pick. 6'4", too. Bigger than Jets or Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to put him at the 3.
Put him at 3 stretch wing there.
Yeah.
All right. You're not going to like this pick. Actually. All right. Guard.
Yep.
I'm going to go with my center now.
Okay.
DeJuan Jones. Offensive tackle for the Browns. 6'8". He had offers in high school to play basketball at Ball State, Kent State, Bowling Green.
Yep.
But then USC, Ohio State, Penn State, Florida came knocking for football, and he made the right choice. But 6'8", and he's got like a 325-pound frame. I mean, he's playing hoops. Let's get that down to like 290, and no one's going to be able to mess with him.
Yeah, I'm going to save my center because you already wasted yours, and I'm going to go get some more guards. I need a guard who is extremely good. Now, look. There's some guys who have played high school basketball, been good, but none like Drake May. His brother, Luke, was so good at North Carolina that I got to put Drake at point for me. I seen his hezzy pull.
Bro,
it's just enough.
6'4", averaged a double-double in high school.
And he's a QB. I got to put him at the point guard. So Drake May at my point guard.
I was being nice, and that's why I saved this pick. I'm going C.J. Stroud. F you. I know you wanted Stroud. I even had Drake May highlighted red. I'm marking my team is red. Yours is blue. Yeah. I already had Drake May highlighted red because I was going to go with him after DeJuan Jones.
I like that. Okay.
31 points in the All-Star game, can shoot. And again, a quarterback. Yeah. He's got the IQ.
Yeah. Another guy who is a good shooter. We have him here on this graphic, man, playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a great quarterback. He can shoot the ball. I've seen him in pickup, man. He has a handle. He can shoot it. He's calm like he is on the football field. I'm putting him at the 2. Give me Patrick Mahomes.
That's good. And he's a winner. How competitive he's going to be. Mahomes is going to come in, though, with a George Niang body. Let's see if he gets right to be playing in the NBA.
Nah. He's going to be ready. He's going to be ready.
All right, so I got Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, DeJuan Jones, and C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
So I got 3 guards and a center.
Yep.
I need a good wing.
Yep.
I'm going pure athleticism here. I don't know any basketball background, but at 6'6", I'm going Kyle Pitts. He's like my favorite.
You love drafting Kyle Pitts.
He's just a sick athlete. I don't care. He sucks as a tight end. We'll see him now in a Zach Robinson system.
You love drafting Kyle Pitts in anything.
He's a sick athlete. He's 6'6". Give me Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, he definitely has the tools. I'm going to go get a guy that I have seen play pickup basketball beforehand who is also a sick athlete. This guy, defensive end. He is a killer.
Oh, good call.
I need Myles Garrett.
That was bad on my part.
Myles Garrett at center will be insane.
Yep.
So I'm going to rock with him.
Myles Garrett, he's like 6'1", 6'2", though. DeJuan Jones, 6'8".
Yeah, but hey.
Perfect matchup at the end against the tackle.
O-line versus D-line, we're going to see it, man. We're going to see it. I am going to take the guy who I've seen just be a swole human being out there looking like the Thing from Fantastic Four. Yeah, I'm rocking with Myles.
And then he stands next to Steph, and he looks small height-wise next to Steph Curry.
He looks short. He looks short.
Short. I did say small height-wise.
He doesn't look small.
All right. Enough attacking short kings. All right. Me and Myles Garrett, we're both the same height. We're both short kings. So I got 6th man now.
Yep, 6th man.
I wonder if you know this. Yep. I'm going Daniel Jones. Dimes.
Daniel Jones.
So 6'5", 230. He played on Jay Billis's AAU team in high school, and that was a team with Grant Williams, and he was a really good player.
Yeah.
But get this. Going into his senior year of high school, he won MVP at Billis's camp, and he showed up with a brace on his wrist because he broke it, and he still won MVP of the camp. Give me Daniel Jones. Underrated athletically. Awful quarterback, but a good athlete. So give me DJ off the bench. That's my 6th man.
Yeah. All right. So with the last pick, I have a couple of guys that I want to look at. So Cooper DeJean, average.
Oh, good call.
He had 1,832 points in high school. Joe Burrow averaged 20 points a game in high school. Mike Evans was a guy who averaged like 18 and 5 in Texas. Drake London was a two-sport athlete at USC. He was on the basketball team. I don't think he ever got in the game. And then after freshman year, like Keon Coleman, just focused on football and being a receiver. So I have a lot of good guys here, but I think I want to take Mike Evans because once again, size is everything.
Huge.
Having that big of a receiver, he's obviously extremely reliable guy in the NFL, 1,000-yard receiver every single year. I need a guy who's going to be consistent, reliable. I know what I'm going to get every single time. Once again, playing out of Texas, he's seen some good high school basketball. I'm sure he would have been a good college athlete if he chose to play basketball as well, but he didn't. So I'm going to rock with Mike Evans.
All right, I like that pick. I didn't even think you put in this one too, like pick a coach.
Yeah.
From the NFL. Give me Andy Reid. Creative and drawing up plays. I didn't even think of a coach you had that written.
You hurting me, bro. I love it.
That's for Keon Coleman. No, it's for Drake May, actually.
Because he coached at UTEP as well, so I love Andy Reid. Man. I'm going to go with Kyle Shanahan.
Smart. Yeah, go with a good play caller, good designer.
Exactly. He's just going to drop good offense. All right, let's run through our teams really quickly.
All right, mine is Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, Kyle Pitts, C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's my point guard in all this. Pitts is my 4.
Yep.
Jets and Adams are my 2 and 3.
Yep.
DeJuan Jones down low is a 5.
Yep.
Daniel Jones off the bench,
Yep.
6'5", 230. Yep. And then on the sidelines, Big Red Andy Reid.
Yeah, I'm got Drake May at the 1. Patrick Mahomes at the 2, Keon Coleman at the 3, Mo Alley Cox, who actually played college basketball, at the 4.
DeJuan Jones played. No, he didn't play college
Myles
basketball.
Garrett at the 5, Mike Evans as my 6th man, and then I'll have Kyle Shanahan as my coach. Y'all tell us who you think would win in the comments.
You have 2 separate former college basketball players.
Yes.
We don't have to get into how many minutes Keon Coleman played. We got 2 guys that actually played D1 ball.
Yes.
I just got sick athletes.
Yes.
Daniel Jones. That would be the one. People be like, who, what?
Yeah. All right. Now, I have this ranking that I got from NBA Central. They have a lot of great content on Twitter. They wanted us to rank these players all time from 1 to 4. So it's James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Paul. All right. How do you rank these 4 players, George?
Dwayne Wade 1, 3-time NBA champ, Finals MVP, 8-time All-NBA. Chris Paul 2, 11-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defense, 3rd all-time in assists in the league. Westbrook 3, James Harden 4. And Westbrook and Harden, similar somewhat overall resumes. Both won an MVP. Russ, 2-time scoring champ, 3-time assist champ. Harden's a reverse. But like Russell Westbrook's got that dog in him. James Harden wants nothing to do with it when the games matter most in the playoffs. He doesn't want the ball in his hands. So I'm bumping. I don't even want James Harden on my list. He's 4, but my list is 1 through 3, bro. Yeah.
Huh?
Bro, what has James Harden done in the playoffs that you want him?
Huh? Okay. All right.
You want Jimmy Harden. I'm surprised they even called him James.
Hold on, George. Okay.
D-Wade 1. Chris Paul 2.
Yes.
One of the all-time GOATs. Russell Westbrook 3.
Yes.
Carrying a Thunder team, and I put Jimmy Harden 4th. Ranking 1 through 4.
So, okay, we both agree D-Wade is 1. That's
an easy one.
That's an easy one. D-Wade is the best player on this list, right? 3rd best shooting guard in NBA history. None of these guys are 3rd best in their position at all, right? All right. Scratch that off the list, right? Will this team to a championship? After that, the other 3 guys, 2 of them have won MVP, and 1 of them never have. So I'm already dropping CP to 4.
All the way to 4.
He's already 4.
Bro.
Because at his peak, he was never the best player in the league. 2 of these guys were Westbrook and Harden. So I'm putting them above. Now, this is where I think it gets like, was it Westbrook or was it Harden? This is the hard decision for me. I personally think I'm going to rock with Westbrook as well as the 2nd best player on this list. But if we're talking about their entire body of work, then I got to look at Harden as a better player throughout his entire career. You know what I'm saying? Because Westbrook kind of fell off a cliff after his MVP years.
Yeah.
Harden has
And
been
revived his
more consistent.
career.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put Harden
Yeah,
2.
Jimmy Harden's consistent of you get to the playoffs and you're in a must-win game and he doesn't show up and doesn't want the ball. I'm taking that. I'm going resume and then I'm going what I see on the court.
Yeah, but Westbrook,
so I get everything you're saying with
but Westbrook
MVPs.
wants the ball at the end of the game, but what does he do with it? You know
Bro,
what I'm saying?
At least he's that competitor that wants the ball in his hands. James Harden, Game 7 against the Celtics, when he was with the 76ers, a minute into the game, everyone in that arena knew he did not want to be there. At least Russ gets you to the end of the game.
I saw James Harden take the best team in NBA history to 7. You know what I'm saying?
When he took the Warriors.
Westbrook was out there getting dogged by Damian Lillard by himself.
And this is at their peak.
Right. So, like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I got to give Harden a nod. Westbrook is third.
Who else
and then
was on
CP
that team?
is
Who else
fourth.
was on that team with James Harden when they
Chris
took him to
Paul,
7?
when he wasn't really doing much either. He choked too.
Jimmy Harden, no go for me, bro. He hates it when stuff matters most.
Whatever, man. Just wrap the show up. You got me, man. Just
D-Wade
wrap
1,
the show
Chris
up,
Paul
man.
2, Russell Westbrook 3. That's it. My list stops at 3. I don't go 4 on this one. He's Ante Campbell. I'm George Biloxi. Thanks so much for tuning in to Hold My Banner. Tay, you're lucky we ran out of time when this segment gone. That would have been off rip. Full 45 minutes. Tay, always appreciate you having me on, my man. We'll see you guys on Friday. Wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Prime, like, subscribe, rate, review. You're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Same thing with Twitch. We'll see y'all Friday. Hey, enjoy the first day of 2K.